Then this afternoon, the remains of the regent of the Zulu nation, Queen Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu, is heading home to Nongoma in KwaZulu-Natal. The Queen's body was taken from a Johannesburg mortuary earlier today, accompanied by dozens of members of the royal family and high-ranking government officials from both KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. The Queen's remains are travelling via road. The 65-year-old regent died last week Thursday at the Mill Park Hospital. She will be buried at the palace in Nongoma on Thursday. The Queen's death comes less than a month after that of her husband, King Goodwill Zwelithini. She will be buried in a private ceremony. All right, I've certainly been following events here in Johannesburg, and no doubt as they travel to KwaZulu-Natal, as people in KwaZulu-Natal await the arrival of the remains of the AmaZulu Queen. Let's catch up then with Simphiwe Makhanya, who is indeed in KZN for us. A very good afternoon to you, Simphiwe. Very similar scenes that I'm seeing behind you that we witnessed during the preparation stages of Kwakhangela-Mankengane. Take us through what to expect, as of course the Zulu nation awaits the arrival of the body of the Queen today.
Afternoon to you, Flo. Afternoon to the viewers as well. Well, as you correctly put it, Flo, there's been a hive of activity here at Kwakhangela-Mankengane Royal Palace, where the official burial is going to be taking place, as well as the memorial service for the late AmaZulu regent, Queen Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu. It's been a hive of activity since the early hours of the morning, with people coming from all over the province and the country even to pay their respects to the Queen and basically send their words of condolences. We've seen a number of politicians as well coming to the palace. One of those is the Secretary General of the Economic Freedom Fighters, that's Marshal Dlamini, as well as the NFP delegation a short while ago leaving the palace after having gone inside to pay their respects. I'm showing you visuals, Flo. You can see there are healthcare workers as well as you enter the palace to ensure that the proper screening process is conducted before those mourners make their way inside the palace. In terms of the proceedings now, Flo, we are expecting the body to arrive here later on here at the palace, where and then the body will be accompanied by Zulu maidens as well as Amabutho to actually prepare for the planting of Her Majesty, which is going to take place tomorrow at the crack of dawn. In terms of what we can see at the moment, it's starting to be relatively quiet, but we are expecting more and more people obviously to continue coming here as they anticipate the arrival of Her Majesty's body, which is expected to arrive later on this afternoon. Flo?
Well, Simphiwe, it's quite difficult to ignore what some may call tensions within the royal house. There's been a lot reported about that, and out of respect, I think many of us have kind of shied away from, kind of talking about it, but it is something that is important to highlight. Perhaps from where you're standing, there have been those calls asking that the royal family unite at this time, particularly when, we know sometimes you will find that there will be tensions when someone has passed on in any family. But has the family on the surface and from where you stand sort of heeded those calls, those many calls that have been made and requested that the family sort of unite? I mean, I heard Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma just this week also making the same call. You had a conversation with Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, and I must say, as you were having that conversation, one could pick up that, there were some issues. I mean, we can't lie about that. It's really quite clear at this stage. I mean, what can you tell us when it comes to that, particularly pertaining to the children of the late king?
Precisely, Flo. It's a difficult time for the AmaZulu royal family, not only due to this sudden loss of Her Majesty, but now, with the issue of succession seemingly dividing members of the royal family. We had earlier on, Flo, two princesses, that's Princess Thembi and Umntwana Umbonisi, holding a media briefing, basically saying that they did not recognize Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi as the AmaZulu Prime Minister currently. That statement, Flo, which was made a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken, has sort of sparked even more tensions now with Prince Buthelezi, not holding back, basically saying that he remains the Prime Minister of the AmaZulu nation, and he is not going to be, withdrawing anytime soon from that role, because he is the eldest in this royal family, and his voice therefore becomes very crucial. It's a very tense situation, Flo, because of these court battles which are expected to be unfolding as we head closer to the dates and also the burial of Her Majesty Queen Mantfombi Dlamini. So we just a short while ago we spoke to the chairperson of the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders here in KwaZulu-Natal, Inkosi Uphathisizwe Ciliza, urging members of the royal family to come together during this time and resolve whatever differences that they may have. Flo?
Yeah, and just before we wrap up our conversation, speaking of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, what exactly is his role now? Because during the ceremony around Isilo, we knew it was quite clear what his role was, and he was communicating with the public, with the media, and of course he was the voice that would then be talking to us. But I must say, since your interview, I haven't heard much from Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Is he still taking that active role as the family spokesperson, as he has been doing, taking on that role of speaking on behalf of the family during times like these?
He is still continuing, Flo, with that role, but obviously the times are different and the environment is different this time around, because when he was communicating the message of the passing of His Majesty King Goodwill Zwelithini, the situation was calm. There were no tensions reported. But now the tensions which are beginning to emerge are obviously forcing, the AmaZulu Prime Minister to sort of observe the situation before making any utterances or comments with regards to the preparations. But it's been like that. About an hour or so ago, he walked into this palace when he then addressed members of the media, reassuring people that he is still the Prime Minister of the AmaZulu nation. In your visuals there, Flo, you can see there's a delegation which is just about to walk inside the palace, and behind that delegation, just in front of that delegation rather, you see a group of AmaZulu maidens, as they come and also sing. It's been that situation. Their leader, Miss Masango, we spoke to her just a few days ago when she was basically reflecting on the life of Her Majesty, saying that Her Majesty played a very crucial role when it comes to the issue, of encouraging abstinence among young women, and also encouraging, people to actually respect their different cultures. Her coming from, obviously, Eswatini, meaning that we are expecting also quite a large delegation from that part of the country to be making their way inside this palace. Perhaps, Flo, I'm just going to try and see if we can be able to speak to the leader of these Zulu maidens, which are currently in your screens. I'm going to walk towards them as they sing and pay their respect to the Queen. Perhaps let's let our viewers hear what they are saying.
Okay.
AmaZulu
Well, Flo, that's the situation outside the palace. I'm just going to try and squeeze in Umasango, who is a leader of these Zulu maidens that you can see in your visuals. Siswam asipinde sikubingelele sikwamukele endabeni bese siyakubuza ukuthi namhlanje nize lana njengezintombi ukuzovalelisa okugcina endlovini uthini nje ukuphawula kwe njengeintombi
silapha esigodlweni Kwakhangela-Mankengane sizokhala ngokubhlungu okusehlele okungamukeleki njengoba sila sizongena ngaphakathi esigodlweni ukuze senze ngosiko lwethu sikhuleke mase sikwazi ukuphuma ngaphandle siyolinda imoto zendlovukazi ukuze sikwazi ukuyimukela ngendlela njengoba bekumama wethu.
Well, Flo, she's basically saying they are coming here anticipating the arrival of Her Majesty's body, where as soon as Her Majesty's body arrives, they will then accompany the body inside the palace. Flo?
All right, Simphiwe, let's catch up with you at a later stage. No doubt we're all sort of awaiting that convoy accompanying the body of the Queen to arrive in Nongoma. A few hours, I suppose, until that happens, and we'll certainly be in between that chatting to you as to what's going on around you there in Nongoma at the palace. Thank you very much, Simphiwe. All right, that is Simphiwe Makhanya for us there in Nongoma in KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, as we await, and you would have seen from the early hours this morning, Griselda Lewis was, of course, here for us in Johannesburg as that convoy sort of left, accompanying the body of the Queen and at the stage en route to KZN, to Nongoma. We'll certainly keep you updated as and when we have more information, but of course they are en route at this time.